So I'm sitting here with Lorraine Buchinski, and Lorraine, you are Mike Bolick's daughter, one of them, one of the two.
Yes.
All right. And you're here with two other folks from Mike's genealogy, right? Is
Yes.
that correct? And who might they be?
All right. This is my daughter Holly,
Hey, Holly.
my only child, only daughter, only child.
And
And next to her is her daughter, Alexis, and Alexis is my granddaughter.
hey, Alexis.
Hello.
And of course, here with us is Margaret Ann as well. We can't forget her.
Of course.
She's hanging out over here. There she is. Super. And we have a cat here too, which
Yeah.
is
Cat's
making the
name
purring sound.
is Toffee.
Oh.
This is Toffee.
Oh, that's cool. And does Toffee actually eat anything other than batteries?
You look like you
Toffee
have the
just likes to
Alzheimer's
make
thing.
noise
Make noise? Okay.
and squirm. In Bolick's chair.
Oh,
It's almost 100 years old.
oh, wait a minute. I didn't get that. Oh, let's let me zoom out there a little bit.
You have to
Almost 100 years old, really.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Well, maybe 75.
That's pretty nice.
So it's getting close to 100.
Yeah.
We got our money's worth out of that, didn't we? Pretty cool. So how about early Culmont? What are your memories of early Culmont that you care to share?
Well, you mean like the buildings?
Yeah, the buildings, the school. You went to, did you go
I
to
went to
St.
St.
Casimir's?
St. Casimir School,
Yeah.
full 8th grade, and learned a little bit of Polish, but then lost it along the way. Now I have just a couple words left.
Sure.
Graduated from St. Casimir's and went on to Culmont High School for the next 4 years. In the school year, the high school year, the class would have a day, to celebrate like the day after the graduation, and the next day they'd go to Knoebels or someplace like that for the day, the whole class.
Yeah.
Well, Mom and Dad have moved to Toledo to be with Mom's side of the family there. And I wouldn't go to Toledo for my last year. They moved like the summer between junior and senior year. I would not go. That was the first time I ever put my foot down for anything. Excuse me. And Mom says, "You have to go." I said, "I'm not going. I'm telling you, I'm not going." "And what are you going to do?" I said, "Well, I'm sure somebody will take me in. I'll ask somebody." So anyway, unknown to me, they went and checked it out and got Uncle Stanley and Aunt Helen were recently married, and they said they would take me in for the year. So I stayed with them for the year. When it came time, Mom came in from Toledo to attend the graduation. But the next morning, she had me on the bus to Toledo. That was a Monday morning, and we passed the bus with all the kids on. They were all young, goodbye. And I got to Toledo. That was Monday. Thursday, I was at a job. My aunt had got the job fixed for me.
Wow.
Nothing about that. And then it was in a department store, Titke's, which I enjoyed. And then they decided they were going to move back in September after being there a year or so.
Was that because Papa not wanting to be a window washer?
He was a window washer.
Didn't she say that they got him a job as a washing windows or something, and he worked one day?
I don't know. Oh,
Do you
I don't know.
remember her saying? It's not me. He was the height.
Well, I don't
And
know
he
about the
said no.
window washing, but yeah, the height, he had to work.
Well, what else
there
would he
with
be
no
doing?
guard and anything.
Up
No,
there?
he wasn't on it. They were building a building,
Yeah, and he was on.
but it wasn't washing windows.
Oh, I
there
thought he was
weren't any
washing
walls
windows.
up yet. No, I don't know. I don't know.
The way I heard that story, and I think it was from my dad, was that your mom couldn't take the humidity in Toledo. Is that the reason they came back?
There's
The-
a couple
the
stories
environment
about
was
which one
hard.
is true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Still on
I
air.
think it's what suits the person.
Whoever's listening, right? Yeah. Cool. So you came back to Coltmont eventually?
Came back. I was there from May to September. Worked in the purchasing department of Titke's department store.
Your mom, my Aunt Anna, told me the story of muddy boots at one point, where the roads were muddy, and I think Uncle Mike, your dad, had muddy boots and brought him in the house, that sort of thing. Does any of that ring a bell?
No.
Because I don't remember all the details of that story myself.
No.
I can sure picture Grandma losing her mind over trying to bring a pair of muddy shoes into her nice clean house.
Yeah, funny. So when I meet with Cynthia, your sister, I'm going to ask her what her favorite story of you is. So I think it's only fair that we ask you your favorite story of her.
Well, I know what she will say.
Okay,
You want to hear it?
sure. I won't tell her. We'll let her answer for herself.
Oh, I know
See.
this is what she'll tell you. We, I can't remember what the argument was about anyway. We lived on Poplar Street, and our bathroom was down in the basement. So anyway, whatever the argument was about, she started chasing me, tried to get me and hit me. So I ran downstairs and ran into the bathroom and closed the door. Well, the door wasn't a full door, it was half like window, and the bottom half was solid. And she went to hit me, and of course I slammed the door, and her arm went right through the window. Fortunately, she didn't get much damage or anything to her arm or what, you know.
Yeah.
I don't remember after that what happened, if I got punished or what. I don't remember that part of it. But anyway, yeah,
Wow.
us killed one another that day.
So should we count this as your favorite story of her, or you're thinking that's her favorite story of you?
I know that's her favorite story.
Okay.
Now I'm trying to think. See, I think that's probably the biggest story I have about us. Yeah. I know that I would have to be her babysitter all the time,
Yeah.
and
Your lunch is
Pardon
pickles
me?
and watermelon.
I'm sorry, what?
Aunt Cynthia for lunch all the time.
Oh yeah, when Mom went to work, Cynthia and I would have to, this is grade school, come home for lunch, and I was responsible for her lunch, getting her lunch. And I said, what do you want? Pickle and watermelon. I said, you have to have a sandwich or something. What do you want? Pickle and watermelon.
Wow.
So after a while of this pickle and watermelon, gave her pickle and watermelon. I knew I was going to get it when Mom came home and found out what she ate. But that's what she wanted, pickle and watermelon. She
Wow.
remembers, she'll tell you that story too, I'm sure. And, when she was very rambunctious. So I remember one time when Mom wanted to go and clean upstairs, she tied her leg to the
You guys know this already. Huh?
the coal stove,
Oh.
and I had to sit there with her, keep her company. Well, I didn't feel that was right, you know, I wanted to go. Anyway, I hated her for that.
That's funny.
Probably that if I keep thinking, I would think of a lot of more things, but
Now you mentioned earlier off the camera that when the calls came in for your brothers, it was a party line, right? So they had to go get called, and you and Cynthia would do that, and then they'd tip you a nickel or a dime.
yeah.
How did that competition work out? Did you take turns, or
Yes.
did you actually reach some sort of compromise how to go about doing that?
Well, we would try to be the one to get there all the time, you know, so that wasn't fair, you know, she was getting money to go to the movies or whatever, you know, and
Yeah.
so then finally we had to share, you know, you go next time the call comes in, you go next time, you know, take turns,
Yeah.
you know. That was Uncle Louie. I can't remember anyone coming to use the phone like Uncle
Oh, any
Eddie would,
others?
I can't
Yeah.
remember that.
Okay. So how about your favorite memory of your mom and your dad? Do you have any favorite memories you care to share? Do you wanna share some, Holly, while we're
Oh,
here?
The monkey.
the monkey.
The
That's
monkey
my,
story?
yeah, the monkey. Do you
You
know
know
about the
I
monkey?
don't,
You know
no.
what a monkey is?
Oh,
I think I know, but you
It's
probably
not a
have
primate.
a different.
it's an enema. And
Oh, I see, yes, I
they
do
called
know
it the monkey.
that. I do remember
The
that.
monkey was the cure for whatever
Yeah.
may ail you.
Whatever
I
I
remember
was
that.
sick
Cold.
with, she'd be going, Nick, get the monkey. And they'd get me on the bathroom floor, I'd be screaming no matter what. God, it sounds so weird. I remember telling somebody at work that, and they're laughing and stuff. It was Sonia, and Sonia said, can you imagine today? They'd have him on the cover, the front page of the paper, like this, with the monkey, child abuse, but
You
everything-
soap up the nozzle.
oh my God, every time, I was scared to get sick, if I got sick, and the only time it stopped was when I finally could outrun them, For the most part, though, Nana was always screaming. I would always make her like a crazy mess, and I just remember Pap always sitting in the parlor going, oh dear God, Anna, let the kid alone. He'd say that like every day. I just loved him to death. He'd let me put my Barbie
Yeah.
hair rollers in his chest hair and stuff, and let me play like that all the time with him. He was like just the best. He really was. And Christmas up there, I never felt it was Christmas down here. We always
I
went
just
up.
go back there, yeah.
Always went up for Christmas, and when we stopped, I was like, until I started making it, for Nikki home. But Harrisburg never felt like Christmas for me. There was no Father Matt singing in Polish at midnight or whatever, and Nana making the ornaments for the tree and all the food and presents. It was always very, very magical for me.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite times up there.
Alexis, did you spend any time in Coltmont that you care
A
to
little
remember?
bit. Nana would come pick me up and take me up to Coltmont. It would just be the two of us, and we'd hang out with Grandma.
I got a story.
Are you going to talk about the time she sat me on the towels?
No, I'll tell the one when Nikki was very little. I was always kicking Nikki. Go with Nana. I would buy them Christmas presents like to do together, like grave rubbing and things like that. Here, you go do that with Nana. Like all these bizarre things. But you told me this. She took Nikki up to Coltmont, and my Nana, Grandma, was serving breakfast. And I guess she had her house covered.
Oh, God.
Nikki was small. Alexis was small.
Yeah.
And I guess what Nana's sleeve or something was big on her robe. And,
No, it wasn't the sleeve. It was the neckline.
the neckline. And she said, you have such nice wrinkled flaps.
I was like 4.
Yeah, such nice wrinkled flaps.
And, yeah. Grandma always had
Nice
saltine crackers and peanut butter and marshmallow fluff, and I would always make little fluffernutter cracker sandwiches whenever we'd
And
go
my
up.
mom would sit her on towels in the car up till she was in like high school, in case you have an accident, sit there like, Nana, I'm 16. I would just put that
Just in case.
just in case you want a rubber sheet, always. She's fine.
But no, Grandma always had either bowling or golf on the TV.
Or baseball.
No, bowling and golf were always the things that were on the TV when we got there.
I remember
And-
the stories, Jeopardy, and baseball.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And the cereal lived in the oven. Yeah, it was the cereal lived in the little oven. Not like there was a little side oven kind of thing next to the fridge by the front door.
That was
And
kind of like your old stuff.
Benjamin and I would play underneath the kitchen table.
They were born on the same day.
Yeah, just a
Oh.
couple years apart, and so
Yeah.
whenever
3 years apart,
Yeah.
same day.
yeah. So whenever, again, Cynthia and Kimberly and Benjamin came up, me and Ben would turn underneath Grandma's kitchen table into a whole new little world and hang out there. Yeah. It was always a good time.
Now, when you were there, was the cherry tree still there?
Yeah.
That was still there? Did you ever do any?
No, I
Fine.
don't think.
Well, not
Not when,
Alexis,
not when
no.
Alexis was there.
No,
But
that
Holly
was a big
remembers the
thing for
cherry
me.
tree. Yeah.
Yeah, she'd let all the boys and stuff in the neighborhood
Yeah, come over and
come
do the cherries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Papa had them chipmunks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Squirrels.
they were chipmunks. I think. 'Cause I think. Do you have a? I used to have a picture.
I have a
They
picture
were-
somewhere.
Abandoned, and he took care of them, Alvin, Theodore, and Simon. And there's a picture with them on his shirt.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
never seen that. That's
And
cool.
Extremely
From the bush.
charming.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they
You
were
found
in
them.
the cherry tree.
No, from the bush, back in the Popper
I
Street.
seem to vaguely remember that,
Yeah.
actually.
And back in the day, they used to have, you put a insulated milk box, insulated box, so the milkman would deliver, you know.
Yeah.
And so he took this insulated box and nailed it to the tree and put them in there. And then he would feed them with a baby bottle, you know, doll baby bottle. And I forget how long that went on for. And then one morning he went out and they were gone.
Mm.
Never saw them again.
Probably got a cat handy
I don't
somewhere.
He asked around, but nobody saw them.
Yeah. Now, the cherry tree must have been very popular.
It was a
Come fall.
Black Oxford, good cherry.
Is that what it was, the black ox? Because I remember it was like 3 stories tall. This was
Yeah.
a big tree. How did you guys? How did he handle all that? You just
Well, I
invited
quit
everybody
eating
in to pick
I quit
cherries?
eating them because one day I bit into one
Ooh.
and
Worm.
just wanted to see, you know. And there was a little white worm in there, and that was the end of that. I don't eat cherries to the stainless; they're pitted.
Yeah. They were pretty good though. That reminds me of your apple story. Would you like to tell us that?
Apple. Oh,
story?
my tooth.
Yeah.
One day I had a tooth there, and had an apple, and then no more tooth. Haven't seen that tooth since.
Wow. So
Kept
just
looking
like
for
that.
it, but never saw it.
Did you look in the right place
You
for
should
it?
have gave it a monkey. They would
Yeah,
have
the
found
monkey would have found it.
All right. Fire away.
Okay. I used to be a left-handed person.
I was going to say this
Mm.
about how they tortured you.
Yeah, and the nuns, you would
Oh.
always come to begin with, take it out gently, put it from my left hand into my right hand. This went on for so long, and I guess they got disgusted, then they start hitting me, you know. To finally I learned how to write right-handed.
Yeah.
But I do many things still with my left hand.
Sure.
And
Didn't
it's
they tie
created a
your arm?
problem for me because in my mind, when somebody says, "Get me this," you know, right-handed or left-handed, I have to stop and think. Oh, which is my right? Which is my left? You know?
Didn't they tie your arm?
Did they what?
Didn't they tie your arm to your body?
I don't think so.
And they made you stand against the blackboard with your
Oh,
nose
that
and
was
gum.
for something else.
That's
That was
for being
my
nosy.
eyes. That
Oh.
was for my eyes. I couldn't see too well, and Mom would all say, you know, if I put it up like this, I could read, but it's something far away, and I couldn't see too well. Did she not believe me? Did not have the money, you know, to take me to the doctors or what? Till one day, finally, the nurse came down from school, high school. This is sophomore year in high school. And Mrs. Bolick, you know, I was sitting like the teacher's desk is where you're sitting, Larry. And then the blackboard was across the front and then on the side like this. I could not read the blackboard. And the boy sitting right behind me would whisper to me what's on the board. And then finally one day the teacher caught him doing that. And that's how I finally got glasses.
Interesting story.
And my girlfriend, I was nearsighted, my girlfriend was farsighted. So when we'd go out together, like going to the school dance or whatever, she'd tell me what she saw.
Like, you know,
What I
evil
saw.
scenery.